Invader here with your Invaders nightly news and weather forecast for May 7th, 2020. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to our special Invaders nightly news and weather coverage, where we update you on our severe weather drift for today, the tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico, and the cooling temperature trending for May. Let's begin to our coronavirus news and updates in our cases. Let's begin with the coronavirus news and updates on COVID-19. Right now, worldwide cases, we have over 3,836,215 confirmed cases and over 268,999 deaths. So far, the curve is not flattening. Right here, you can see the cases over time worldwide. This curve is not going to flatten. These cases are going to double in size. You can see we are at 3 million and we're not going to lower the curve. We won't see a peak in the curve flattening sometime, but you can see this curve is not going to flatten soon or enough, but we'll be watching very closely if this curve is flattening. But so far it is not flattening, as you can tell with this curve right here. It's going really up right there, as you can see on the map here. So we got cases in the United States. They have 1,288,930 confirmed cases and over 76,413 deaths so far in the United States. They're still leading the first highest cases, of course, followed by Spain, Italy, UK, Russia, Germany, France, Brazil, Turkey. What else we got? Iran, China, Canada. Canada might pass China's cases soon, and followed by Peru, all these other countries too to follow. So right now, let's move on to the United States cases, and let's talk about the cases there, and I'll show you what to expect here in the United States and all this stuff with the coronavirus. So this has been a rough coronavirus start, and we have been seeing no progress of ending. But right now, New York State leading the highest confirmed cases with over 318,953 confirmed cases, over 19,415 deaths so far in the United States. Right now, their curve is not going to flatten. Coronavirus in the U.S., a high plateau of cases portends more spread. And NPR says, is your state testing enough to contain coronavirus outbreaks? Breaking news, coronavirus live updates, over 76,000 dead as 333 million filed for unemployment in the U.S. Right now, live updates from the Washington Post. Live updates. White House ramps up internal coronavirus measures after Trump ballot test positive. After Trump ballot test positive. So, that's a ballot test positive. Right now, New York State is leading the highest cases, followed by New Jersey, Massachusetts, Illinois, California, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Florida, Texas, Georgia, Connecticut, all these other countries soon to follow. And the confirmed cases, recoveries, and deaths. I'm just going to scroll down. You can just pause if you see your state, because I have to move on. Scroll down slowly. I have to move on later afterwards. If you see your state, you can pause it, because we got to move on. We don't waste time seeing all the cases and the deaths. But right now we're seeing a lot of we have seen, probably the curve is not flattening. We are seeing a lot of cases confirmed over time in the United States, and their curve is not going to flatten. We are at 1 million cases, and our cases are not going to flatten pretty over time. You can see these cases are tripling in size. You can see the curve is not going to flatten, as you can probably tell on the maps. Right now, so our test we did today in the United States, we have dead in the United States over 27,480 tests so far in the United States, and you can see all of their tests on Google. This is how much tests we did today. So today we did 27,480 tests so far in the United States, and we're seeing a peak of cases still rapidly growing, and this is worse than 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. And this is no joke. We need to be prepared. We need to stay home, stay safe, take precautions. Across the nation right now, we have some thunderstorms across the nation over to Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas region right now, as you can see, and the Louisiana region. We are seeing some thunderstorms, like some storms around the Texas region right there. We do have an enhanced risk of severe weather today. Let's talk about the severe weather in the Storm Prediction Center's Day 1 outlook. Here you can see we do have enhanced risk for Day 1 outlook. We are expecting an enhanced risk for Oklahoma City, Norman, Lawton, Edmond, Midwest City, Oklahoma. We do have enhanced risk in this region. Slight risk for these cities include Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, Garland, Texas. We're seeing slight risk for those areas. A marginal risk for these populated areas as well. As you can see, a involving cluster of thunderstorms may pose a risk for strong, potentially damaging wind gusts and severe hail across part of western and central Oklahoma late this evening into the overnight hours. Right now, here's a discussion here. You can see tornado risk. Let's see what we have for the tornado risk. We still got 2%, so we don't need to talk about that. Wind risk 30%. Hatch area seeing winds up to 65 to 70 miles per hour. Wind gusts in these areas, especially if you are in the hatch area, you're expecting those wind gusts up to 65, 70 miles per hour of winds in this hatch area possible, where you can see with the strongest winds. In the hail threat hatch area, you can see large, dangerous hail falling from the sky. Well, I said falling from the sky, and they might damage cars, anything outside. Really large hails can be expected along this hatch region, as we expect, according to Tropics centers here. Their outlook for do have an enhanced risk for today. Let's move on to the yes, we do have enhanced risk. 2% chance for tornadoes, but we don't need to talk about that. But let's move on to our Day 2 outlook. We do have a slight risk. Let me just load it up. Yes, we do have slight risk for Louisiana, parts of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Right now, this includes Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Belmont, Lake Charles, Alexandria, Louisiana. We're expecting a slight risk region for these areas. Tornado risk is 2%, not too severe about that. Wind risk 50%, and hail risk is 15% as well. We do have a slight risk for today. Scattered strong to severe thunderstorms are forecast on Friday from southeast Texas across Louisiana and into southern Mississippi. Damaging thunderstorm, wind gusts, and hail will be the main hazards with these storms. Here's the discussion. You can see, and Day 3 outlook, nothing there. Just a enhanced risk for today and tomorrow, slight risk. So nothing too severe along these areas as these storms move east, as you can tell on this graphic. Let's move on to the next part. It's the frost freeze warnings. Let's talk about the cooler temperatures across the nation. Right now, we do have a freeze warning in effect for parts of the southwestern Ohio. Southwestern Ohio, northern Kentucky. We got some freeze warnings up here in the northeast, and this is a lot of freeze warnings being issued right now. And this almost include the whole state of Ohio and parts of Kentucky, parts of West Virginia. We got freeze watches, frost advisories, so it'll be a cold night. Let's check the temperatures down in Atlanta. We're expecting cooler temperatures down there too. There's a freeze watch there, right here. So we're expecting cooler temperatures tonight. So I suggest grab those big blankets out. We're expecting really cooler temperatures, 40s, 50s. We're expecting overnight here in Atlanta. But let's move north. We will be expecting 30s and 20s out up there. Let's go here. We're expecting a freeze warning here. This is in Wilmington, Ohio. The National Weather Service office. We're expecting a freeze warning here in this area. Really cooling temperatures. Their low tomorrow is 44. Wait, their low for tonight will be 44 degrees. Tomorrow's high. They're expecting a 49 degrees for Friday for their high, but they're seeing a 44 degrees for the low today. So we got really cold temperatures, expecting 20s, 30s, and 40s. And here's the cooling polar vortex blasting down across the U.S. right now. We're seeing its coolest temperatures right now. You can see we're expecting really cold temperatures, expecting 30s and 40s. Guess what? We got freeze warnings right here along these areas. Cold and windy. So they're expecting really cold temperatures. Here in this area, you can see a lot of freeze warnings, frost advisories. freeze warnings being issued right now. We're expecting really cold temperatures along these regions. And to talk about more about that, let's check our thermostat here to our M2M temp anomaly, and we're talking about that real quick. So let's talk about the temperatures. Yes, the temperatures, the polar vortex is starting to arrive. That cold front will pass through the eastern seaboard, pass through the east, and all that rain we're seeing, the rain's coming through the area. That's the cold front passing through. This is the first round here. You see, this is the cold front. Along, it's going to be passing through the east and bringing the coldest temperatures. Probably by May 9th, you can see this cold front, the polar vortex blasting down, and next we could see the coldest temperatures. Right here you can see in the east we're expecting really heating and cooling daytime patterns. Here, as you can see with this graphic, you see we're expecting cooler temperatures and warmer temperatures. To talk about that in perspective, let's move on to our air temperature 2M shaded air temperature outlook, and let me show you how much we're expecting with these cooler temperatures to rise. So we're expecting 20s, 30s, 40s degrees cooler than average temperatures for much of the north and northeast. So you can see the really cooling temperatures starting to rise, expecting 30s, 20s, 40s. Freeze warnings will be issued. You can see this cold front right here passing through the east, expecting really cool temperatures for tonight. During the overnight hours, expecting 30s, 20s possibly. Really cold temperatures with these areas. Then we'll be warming up to 70s, 80s after that. After this cold is gone, you can see we're expecting 90s in the Texas region, 100 degrees in New Mexico. So we're expecting warm temperatures returning, but cold temperatures are remaining in parts of the western areas. 50s, 40s, 30s along these areas. Will be warm across the east, central plains and southern plains. You can see 90s. Okay, this is gonna be really interesting. 90s, 80s, 92, 93, 94, 94. We're seeing the warmer temperatures right there, like a strain of heat waves around the probably on May 23rd. That's probably about a week. May 23rd is probably a week after next week. A week after next week, we're expecting these warmer temperatures on May 23rd. Probably Saturday, we're expecting them. Really warm temperatures, 93, 88, 94 degrees. Really warm temperatures along these regions, expecting probably on May 23rd, it's going to be a warming trend. Warm temperatures are arriving as the cold temperatures are gone. So crazy weather pattern, expecting 40s right there in the western areas, but warmer in the east. So yes, we're expecting really warm temperatures and cooler temperatures at the same time. So probably use those heavy blankets for a little bit, but the warm temperatures are back. So just better be ready to heat up your ACs, because it's going to be a warming trend across the U.S., probably the east, respecting the warming trend. Now our last update with now the last thing to talk about is the tropics. Yes, has been a disturbance of a tropical kind of weather we're expecting here in the tropics. We're expecting maybe some kind of a tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's talk about that real quick. So let me just rewind these models real quick. Okay, I think these are the wrong ones. Let me tell you about the ZA50. So let me show you the ZA50. Then I'll show you the wind shear and talk about the Eastern Pacific storms real quick. And probably is a good time to show you the Atlantic hurricane season, because I want to talk about that too before we end this video. It's Atlantic. It's loading really slow. Okay, ATL, ATIC, Atlantic hurricane season 2020. This is what we're looking for. Let me load up the Atlantic hurricane season 2020 forecast. So we know this is starting June 1st and ends on November 30th. And also, if you don't know, Hurricane Preparedness Week is starting. This is already currently in session. I'll be uploading like a premiere on that, like how should you stay safe during this Atlantic hurricane season, what are you to expect, and how should you stay safe during the Atlantic the during the pandemic such as this. So I'll have a video out that very soon, probably like the next 2-3 days. I'll make it. I'm probably talking about hurricane season and what you expect and how you can evacuate during a pandemic, especially after coronavirus and stuff. So here's a prediction. This is just way too many storms. According to the NCSU, they're predicting 18 to 22 storms. I think Noah's gonna predict 20 and 22. Probably Noah's gonna predict about 15 to 21, 22 storms, named storms. But that's really a lot of storms. But how many names you can see? We got like 20 names, right? These are 20 names. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like 20 names. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, there's like 21 names. And if we're gonna use 22 names, this is just crazy. We might use the Greek alphabet, and this might be like a 2005 kind, but this is just, we're gonna see probably in the Atlantic storm force. We could see a storm named Arthur if that is named. It has any tropical activity, if it's strong and all that stuff. But here we have no storms yet. It might start early. If this storm is formed, this might start Atlantic hurricane season for May 7th. As this is not gonna doesn't start into June 1st. But we're gonna see this first storm maybe could start on probably May 7th or later on, probably next 1 to 2 days. But officials have expressed concerns about hurricane season, potentially the effects of 2019 coronavirus pandemic, and describing it as a nightmare scenario, and people could be overwhelmed. So evacuations would be significant hindered due to fears of contracting virus, and social distancing rules would break down when giving aid to hurricane affected areas. So especially we have to like work on how can we like help evacuate people during the coronavirus pandemic. So that's a really bad time. With hurricanes, that doesn't go. So 2020 would be the worst year we've seen, but hurricanes is not gonna help. And we're seeing like 18, 22 storms maybe. But this is how much we're gonna see according to these areas. But this is 2005. We've seen 28 storms, 15 hurricanes, and 7 major hurricanes. And that's a surprising record. We are going to see 22 named storms according to the NCSU. That's just too many storms. But this is just going to be probably a nightmare scenario. If we have so many hurricanes, this is going to stress all the governments out. And probably people will break social distancing rules and probably all the other rules. People are going to are fearing citizens will get contracting the virus. So we have to work out a plan if we can show you how can you be safe during a pandemic. I'll have a video at that for safety reasons, all that stuff, and how to prepare for a hurricane. So yes, it's gonna begin June 1st and ends on November 30th. So this is probably a bad time for a pandemic during hurricane season. And this is just gonna have to end some part. This is gonna be a second wave. This is just gonna be big as the Spanish flu. Let's talk about the Atlantic hurricane season. I'm trying to show you the model. So here you can see focus in this red area. You can see this is some type of China cyclonic tropical disturbance trying to form along the Gulf of Mexico. Then moving across Florida. You can see all this red energy. That's potential of a tropical cyclone or some type of energy right there forming the Gulf of Mexico. Then pushing to forward in this red area. You can see where my mouse is. This is the red area. You can expecting probably some tropical activity or tropical disturbance. Probably could be an invest system. Then moving towards, as you can see, tries to form there. Then moving towards east. And let's talk about the wind shear. Like I said in my Atlantic hurricane season forecast. We're expecting that wind shear could break up hurricanes. I'll talk about that real quick. And here in this area, you can see there's another tropical system. This is like a few days out. We're probably about 10 days out right here in the forecast model. Some are 10 days out. 7 to 10 days out with this. But yeah, there could be possibly a tropical cyclone in East Pacific hitting the southern Mexico region. You can see, but this doesn't hit. It just stays along the coast. So the models have changed. You can see it does not hit, but will bring rainfall and probably winds. But these models will change. We don't know if this is going to be a hurricane system or not. But we'll be watching the models very closely. But I was the one who noticed it first, and I told everyone. But models will come out, but we'll be watching that area very closely. And let's talk about the wind shear. Then I have to show you the Mason storm. We already talked about this. Then I have to end this video. I don't want this to make this video too long and waste my recording things. But let's talk about the wind shear. So there's absolutely a lot of wind shear in the probably in the Atlantic. You can see there's so much wind shear. All this red is the wind shear, so like 100 knot winds. So we're expecting a ton of wind shear along this region. You can see there's a lot of wind shear in the Atlantic. They could possibly break up hurricanes, but less wind shear along the Pacific that could develop a hurricane, probably a small tropical disturbance along the eastern Pacific, probably near South Mexico, probably might not hit land, but just like cause flooding and stuff. But I'm gonna say we're expecting some type of wind shear. There's like 100 knot wind shear along the Atlantic region here. As you can see, there's so much wind shear, probably in this region for like May. So we're expecting a lot of wind shear in these areas, especially along these areas. Let's talk about the precip real quick. Let me show you how much rain we're expecting from this tropical system. So let me just rewind the models. I already show you. Let me just show you because these models will change. If this system is going to be named, then it could be named after. If this system has the potential to be named. So here you can see this is the rainfall model showing. If I load it up, and here's that Eastern Pacific storm I was talking about. I mean, there's a lot of rain coming in from it. So yeah, you can see this potential of a small tropical activity, tropical disturbance along the South Miami area, expecting 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain along the South Miami area, South Florida, and we in this Eastern Pacific, a lot of rain in these areas. And this is probably about 20 inches, 12, 14, 16, 20 inches of rain along this area where there could be a possible tropical disturbance. A lot of rain with this area, sliding into South Mexico, but not going to make landfall, but just bring heavy rain along these regions. As you can see, a lot of rain, just going to like cyclone and dissipate. So that's a really weird pattern we're seeing there. And let's talk about the sea surface temperature. So if the sea surface temperature is like above 26 degrees, but if it's below 26 degrees, then the storm won't form. But if it's above 26 degrees, then it will form to a kind of probably a tropical disturbance or invest system. So here are the sea surface temperatures. Let me just show you the North Atlantic one. So here are the sea surface temperatures right here. So we're expecting 27 degrees Celsius, really high for sea surface temperature development. So if we have 26 degrees and higher of sea surface temperature, we're expecting a good chance for tropical development region. In this area, we have a ton of sea surface temperatures. That means we can see possible tropical disturbance forming. Possibly, I'm trying to predict. These models are about 7 to 10 days out, but we're expecting a good chance for a tropical disturbance along this region if it's possible. But yeah, it could be one happening because we have seen 27 degrees Celsius, higher from 26 degrees. So we got some warm sea temperatures along the South Florida region, especially in these areas. The Atlantic and Gulf is warming up, but the Pacific has already been warming up. You can see we're expecting sea surface temperatures of up to 27 degrees. You need 26 and higher for a tropical disturbance to form to a tropical depression, subtropical depression, or subtropical storm. We can remember Alberto that formed in May, probably in 2018. So a subtropical means their wind field is really big, so we can't forget about that. Their wind field is big, it's like probably big wind field with the subtropical. So this could be subtropical depression, maybe, as you can see on the models right here. So that's basically it for Invader's Nightly News and Weather Forecast for May 7th, 2020. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy our content. And thanks for watching. See you later in the next video. Bye, everyone. Take care and stay safe. Thanks for watching, everyone. This was Invader's Nightly News and Weather Forecast for May 7th, 2020. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share our videos. See you later in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.